So we wanted to do just like a quick little like side shoot video for Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a service that launched this past week for gold members. It'll launch the following week for regular Xbox users, and it launched almost a month ago for preview pass owners. So me myself, like I already did my 2-week free trial, and I believe I have another 2-week free trial like to live with the rest of the people who haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
And I just like wanted to have like a quick discussion of it because it feels like this really could be something that's the future of
Yeah, I do
gaming.
think it's going to be, for sure.
But right now, is it what we need? So, Brian, why is this the future of gaming?
I think it's a good first step that they're doing, and I mean, it's a lot to base off of. Obviously, you know, we have things like Netflix and Hulu. They've been around for a long time, and especially Netflix, they're setting the precedent for TV nowadays. I mean, a lot of people are cutting the cord. You know, they're not doing cable subscriptions anymore. I know I don't have a cable subscription anymore.
Right. Yeah, same here.
We just do Netflix and Hulu, and you know, for
Actually, that's all three of us. So yeah.
yeah. So there you go.
So
point
you're
being,
saying that
point
this could
spoken.
potentially get to the point where
I think it's
and
eventually
we're already
going
sort
to
of
be.
going towards this.
Yeah.
Where you don't go to the store and buy a $60 retail game.
100%.
You're paying
100%.
$10 a month, and there's enough revenue generated there to share with the developers.
I think
for
a
it to
lot
be
more
worth
people
it.
would jump in at that point and would play a lot more games.
Yeah.
And say, like, you know, a lot of people that don't buy, you know, me personally, I buy like 4, 5, 6 games a month, you know, at full retail price. But a lot of people don't. They buy like maybe 1 or 2 every couple months, or even just like 3 or 4 games a year.
So I would say
if there was a
critics
subscription-
of this idea would say that $10 a month is not enough to sustain, you know, enough
No, I think
to
it
make
needs
it
to be
worth it for
$10
the
though.
developer.
But I think there would be enough people
That's the
using
sweet
it, and a lot
spot.
of people would jump in to where it would kind of balance itself out.
So we have this chicken and the egg situation, and do you think that Microsoft is going to be the person that's willing to be the egg? They're going to create
because
the egg.
they have to be. At this point in the game, I mean, they're so far behind where the PS4 is at in terms of console sales. I think they have to be willing to take those risks.
Why not Valve?
Well, why not Valve? I mean,
Yeah.
Valve doesn't ever really jump in on
So
anything
Xbox
like that.
Game Pass right now is not the future of gaming, because it is not what you're saying. It's not this standard for good content where it's only being released like on Xbox Game Pass.
Right.
What we have right now is a lot of really cool classic games. So I want to talk about what Xbox Game Pass is first,
Yeah.
before we get into any
Yeah,
more of what it is
100%.
in the future. But yeah, I mean, that's essentially, you laid it out exactly. This what it will take for this to be widely successful is to have this user base and to become the standard where developers want to release their games to people who have the Game Pass versus going to the store.
Yeah.
Because then I don't have to walk into the store and say, here, take my money for this specific game.
And that's...
I can just track metrics on people who would be willing to try my game out on Xbox Game Pass and how many people actually play it all the way through, and that's how I'm getting
And that's
paid.
a selling point for Xbox One. That's a huge selling point for Project Scorpio, because that's not on PC. That's one thing that Microsoft has for their console that you cannot do on a computer.
So this current library of games, from having access to it for 3 weeks now. So you say
No,
week.
it's not. I'm not going to say it's weak. I'm going to say it's okay. It's a good way to put it. But it's a great thing to start off with. It's like we always say, hey, if you're going to start anything, it's going to start not that
There's
great
gotta
at
be
first,
there's
and
gotta
it'll
be
get
building
better.
blocks.
Think of
Yeah.
like games with gold,
Get better every
PlayStation
week.
Plus, and it's like, oh, now you look at your library and it's like, oh shit, there is some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and Xbox Game Pass, I don't think
So I'm
is
just poking fun at it.
weak. I think it's classic. Okay.
Yeah.
For
A lot
$10,
of the-
it's worth it.
For
is the bottom
$10,
line.
it's totally worth it.
Well, a lot of the games that are in here are like really great nostalgia games from the Xbox 360 era, because having that backwards compatibility. So there are a couple of games on Xbox One that I just I have had yet
Halo
to
5?
play that
Sunset
that I
Overdrive?
might be willing to pick up on there. But even Sunset Overdrive is kind of a classic. I mean, that was like a system launcher pretty much.
And it was a good
within the
game.
first year.
It was a good game.
You know, and they released
Dropped
another
fast.
Xbox with it. But I mean, you've got your BioShock, you've got your Banjo-Kazooie, you've got Banjo-Tooie, Cameo, you've got these classic Sega games that are remastered
here's-
on there, like Golden Axe and Streets of Rage. You know what I
So,
mean?
Fable 3 is on there, but that's the only Fable. You know?
So we need to get Fable 1 on
That's
there
what
for
I'm
sure.
saying. Then I would have really been into it.
Yeah, or Fable 2 at least. You know, and you've got Gears of War, like all these games that launched the Xbox 360 and made it like the most popular
maiden
system
voyage.
at the time. Viva Pinata, geez. Oh my gosh, that's like actually what I played most when I first started my Game Pass subscription. I'm like flipping through the library and I'm like, oh, I'm going back to play this. Started up my garden anew. The Blob 2.
Never played.
Not
it.
really a system seller for
No.
sure, but it's a game like I said that maybe you would have missed. That it's a great platformer. I think you would like it. Thinking of Super Mario Sunshine, essentially, yeah. Oh my gosh, you have all these people that are out like
You have me
painting the
intrigued.
world black. You know what I mean? Like getting sludge all over everything. And your job as the Blob is to go around and like brighten up this world. Like what a jolly game. Where you just have to go around and it's fun platforming. There's interesting abilities that get introduced throughout it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of challenge, like as far as like, and there's collectibles. You know, you got your shine sprites, stuff
I'm
like that.
intrigued.
that you have
I'm
to get.
definitely intrigued.
So, a lot of stuff on the list that would have been stuff that you might have missed, or a lot of classics. So I think they did a really good job building this up as that.
Yeah.
And I think if any other developer had done this, like a Nintendo, by the way, which
Huh,
they could still
wink,
launch
wink.
a service like this. And
They're
you would
supposed
think,
to be, I
oh
thought.
my gosh, I can
That's
play
what we
all
want.
these classics
Yeah.
on the wall behind me here. I can play a Sonic Adventure 2 Battle,
Shrek
and Second
2.
Sight, and Shrek 2, and
Extra
Shrek Extra
large.
Large. Oh my gosh, people would go crazy about that.
Yeah.
They'd say $10.
Chibi Robo.
Take my money. You can't take it fast enough. It'd be like a Breath of the Wild, almost 100% attach rate with people with
That's
the
what
Switch.
the virtual console should be.
So
We'll see.
But I mean, that's what it should be.
hopefully we get to see that. That could also, in addition to what you were saying, you're saying, yeah, okay, this is the future of gaming
Yeah.
down the road because you're going to have developers
It's only gonna
releasing
get
these
better.
content that's going to sell the Game Pass. That's how you get it there. That's how you have an install base that makes it so you can pay these developers.
Yeah.
Is you have this big
That's-
library of nostalgic games.
That's why Netflix can continuously pump out, Netflix original content.
Yeah, because I can still
it's
go on there
so
and watch
good.
Pirates of the Caribbean 1.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And forget about the new
Check-
Dead
check-
Man Tale No Tales.
Check out our reaction video.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go shot too though. You were saying that is the physical $60 game gonna go extinct? I don't think it's ever gonna go.
No,
extinct.
it won't
People
go
want
extinct. You'll still be able to buy the game.
physical.
If you want the game.
I know. I'm saying I don't think people are
No,
ever
no,
gonna
no,
veer
no.
from that.
I never said that. So
I'm just putting.
the
words
Although
in.
movie-
I do think physical games are going away.
the
No, I don't think
movie,
so. Absolutely
It's all
not.
going to go digital eventually.
the movie still exists. I can still go buy a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I can still go to the theater and watch a movie.
Yeah.
But it's fading away. It's becoming somewhat of an antique. It's becoming somewhat of
Hey,
a
the
novelty.
vinyl's coming back.
And it's becoming
The
something
physical
for
will always come back.
It's becoming something for super fans,
Yeah.
more than it is for your general average consumer.
Yeah.
And it's becoming another thing. It's becoming something that you only buy if it's not available on another service. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
even just talking about pirates. People out there that are stealing this content through Kodi or whatever other means.
Yeah.
And so they're saying, well, it's not on Kodi. I guess I'll go out on $5 movie night and pay for a ticket. Those guys you're never going to please.
Right.
And they're not really part of the economy in any way.
Yeah.
But these people that are saying, "Oh man, I really want to go back and watch." This happened to me the other night. I wanted to watch The Producers, their classic musical. For whatever reason, I wanted to go back and watch it. I was thinking about it. The remake with Will Ferrell and everything. That's just regarded as being terrible.
Yeah.
But I love this movie because it's so bad that it's good. And there's so much about it. In any case, I wanted to go back and watch The Producers. It's not on Netflix. It's not on Hulu. It's not on any of the streaming services I have. It's not on Crunchyroll, God knows. And so I had to go, and I was like, well, I guess I could buy it on Google Play Music. Or, I've gone back and been like, dude, I want to watch the Matrix trilogy. And went and picked up the Blu-ray trilogy at Best Buy. You know what I mean? Because it's not on those streaming services.
Yeah.
So the Netflixes and the Xbox Game Passes and Nintendo Game Passes of the future will kind of dictate what physical games will be high in demand because of their availability on that, if it's widely popular.
Yeah.
So if they're going to knock this out of the park, I think what they need to do is have you or give you the ability to rent the new releases as they're coming out, along with anything else that isn't part of this rotation.
So you have your EA Access, essentially.
Yeah.
It
Which is
has
a
done
super
this.
cool, super cool.
And
Yeah.
it's only
No.
for EA games at this time, and I think it's going to be difficult unless you have your Ubisoft access
cares it's
and your
difficult? They need to
2K
do it.
Take-Two access and stuff like that.
I'd pay for
if
it
they
all.
all individually do it.
I do it everything.
Then it becomes costly. And
Don't
if
care.
Xbox does it, then the developer's not getting a big enough cut, I don't think. And Xbox doesn't have any incentive because you have this huge, population of people that just don't 100% complete games.
Right.
I played Battlefront on EA Access, and I never purchased that game because I had played the whole thing on EA Access in those 48 hours or whatever that I got to play it before it was out.
Yeah.
Between that and the
Because
beta.
they always give it to you a week early or something. If you have
Yeah,
the
between
system.
that and the
Yeah.
beta. It was what's the point? So...
Would you say GameFly is still relevant?
Yeah, GameFly
I
is
think so.
Exactly.
still relevant in their own way.
So I'm saying, if they knocked this out of the park, there was some way, like let's say Prey just came out or
But
whatever. I'm bored this weekend.
GameFly is relevant because the developer gets 100% a sale for that game.
Yeah.
So they're making not the same
They're
margin
purchasing
that
every
they would
single one
make
of
selling
those.
it to a retail store.
Yeah.
And they're not making the same margin that they would get selling it to the consumer directly. But they're getting a good chunk of that margin. Whereas if you're just demoing the game from their pass for almost free, then they're not getting that revenue. So
And the flaw with GameFly too, when you mail a game back or you're waiting for one to come, it's anywhere from 3 to 5 days of a turnaround time.
Yeah.
Whereas
so that's
with
just
a system
dead
like
time
this,
where you have no game.
Yeah, and with a system like this, you just queue it up, you're good to go.
Yeah. So
if this
They kill
catches
with
on,
that, though.
GameFly's done. If this system catches on, GameFly's
right,
done.
if Xbox Game Pass.
No, I
comes out.
don't think GameFly can go away just because of internet connection speeds, availability for all.
That's
those
all
kind of
getting
people
better,
too.
though.
It is, but it's still not perfect.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but
You've got
surely.
Spectrum paving the way. Let's
Yeah.
go. Or White Knight riding in from Time Warner, just a rebrand.
It's so bad.
But they give us slightly faster speeds for the same
Yeah,
money.
Armstrong
So,
did the same thing for us. So yeah.
good for them, I guess, in some way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Xbox Game Pass. Hopefully, this can be something that's a takeoff point for other stuff.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts or anything you guys have?
They released the perfect timing though, because it's like summer, kids are getting out of school, and it's like,
100
hey,
yeah, 100%.
I just want to
This
play
is the
games.
best time to try it.
$10. Oh, 100 games. Now I start getting into this backlog. Timing was perfect on this. And you know what's peeking right around the corner? E3.
Yeah, and honestly, so Xbox Game Pass, I guess where we stand on it, and I did want to talk about this in the podcast, so I'm glad we took this time to do this little side shoot. They've got a perfect foundation for the future.
Yeah.
They've got perfect timing with it coming out this summer, with kids getting out of school and stuff like that. And they've got, in my opinion, about the best library that they could have. A perfect library of classic titles, nostalgia, like your Cameo Elements of Power and your Gears of War, stuff like that. So good on you, Xbox, and I'm excited to see what's to come for the future. Hopefully other developers / console manufacturers pick up on this.
Yeah.
And if you have any other opinions, just let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear if you're optimistic like us, more pessimistic, and what kind of games you'd like to see on a service like this in the future. Be realistic.
You stole my line.
I thought you were going to say it. I looked at you.
That's all good. Later.